So if you've been watching long enough, you've seen me in my Ferrari flip challenge. If you've been watching long enough, you've seen me buy a boat that doesn't run, get it running, put it on the water, and have it be a success. A lot of these things I'm learning as I go, and I'm having you guys there with me to figure it all out as it happens. I can tell you, I'm halfway through it already, and it has been an absolute nightmare. There are so many challenges I was not expecting. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels. Let's get going. 1 year ago, almost to the month, I thought I'd try my hand at house flipping. So I went online and I bought a house sight unseen through a bank-owned foreclosure auction, and it has been an absolute nightmare ever since. Now this is part 4 in the house flipping series. When I first bought it, there were some people living there that wouldn't leave. I had to go through the courts to get them out. When we finally did get them out, my wife, my children, and myself got the opportunity to go inside and see how bad it really was. And it was actually pretty sad that people had to live like this. I really felt for the family. It's just an awful situation, obviously, to even have to be there. Now, the worst part of this house was the smell. I wish you could smell it through the camera because it was unbearable. Now, my wife was dead set against this from the start, and it only got worse once she went inside.
I think I could bring it back to life.
I will never step foot in there again. Yes.
That was insane.
So this is now a project I'm taking on by myself. In the last few videos, I demoed and gutted the entire house myself. I tore up the lawn. I made some significant landscaping changes. That way I could at least fit my truck in the yard because the driveway was so narrow. We also did some demo to the sides of the house so we could relocate the driveway. I have to say, I have never done any of this at all, ever in my life, so I am completely learning as I go. But it is extremely therapeutic and I'm having an absolute blast. I also took this side of the house off too because why not? It was completely rotted anyway. I think I'm gonna end up just tearing this whole house down, unfortunately. But I don't want to. That would prove me wrong and I made a mistake. And I refuse to admit that I've made a mistake yet. And today is an exciting day because it is paint day. This project looks absolutely horrendous. Yard before grass, back of house, side of house. Front side of house. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the house yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the interior, but at least I'm gonna make the exterior look as presentable as possible just so my neighbors don't hate me. If they look at it and it looks better than it originally did, I'm hoping they get a good feeling about the house and can actually see that I'm gonna try to better this property. Now, in my early 20s, I actually owned a painting company, and I really enjoyed painting. I'd put my headphones in, and it was therapeutic. Nobody bothered me. I would just be in my own element, painting houses and making things look good again. Yes, I know what you're gonna say. I shouldn't be doing this right here. I just want it to look better and look consistent. So remember, just a few minutes ago, I showed you how we tore both sides of the houses off, so I at least covered them with some wood just so they were closed off and people couldn't just get in and out of the house. And then that's why I partially painted the house, was just so it would all match and be consistent. We are gonna do some vinyl siding to the house eventually anyway. The other thing I never showed you, check out all that stone work. All the stone, we made a driveway on the side. I also put some parking for my camper behind the house because obviously we're not gonna be staying in this lake house this summer. The other thing to remember too is I bought this house over a year ago. I bought it in February 2021 to use as a lake house for my entire family, depending on how good or bad the condition actually is and how this project works out. House painted before trim. All these temporary boards, at least they're all the same color now. In the back too. Now I've been documenting this entire project and that's why you're seeing it now. I wanted things to put together for you to see. And here's the other side. Now it's time to trim it out and get some shutters on this thing so it looks presentable from the road. Finished product. Only problem is it's starting to rain, so you can see the white trim is running up top. At least it's uniform now. It's all one color. From the street, it is a presentable looking house now, at least, so the neighbors should be pleased. And then the other thing I did to match are these two shed style things, whatever they were. So now they're uniform, they're consistent, they're all the same color minus the two different roofs, which is strange. But I trimmed them out, I sprayed them, so they're all uniform. Here's the shed before, here it is during, and here it is after. Here's the before of the house, and more ugliness, and here's the after. At least it's somewhat presentable from the road now. All this, one day. I got it all done in one day. Painted, trimmed out, sheds done, shutters on, one day. And my stone driveway has been amazing because RV and boat pulls in and out without a problem. Culmination of everything, it's all coming back together. See that guy digging holes? That is the electrician putting up temp service. See that right there? Grill. We have a tube right there. The water tank is gone. That weird school shed, gone. But even better than that, my camper that I bought at the auction last week, going right here. Better than that, my boat running with a new engine, going to pick it up today. Today we're getting electrical service, we're getting my fifth wheel camper, and we're getting my new boat. I've been working for months to get this done, and finally, everything is working out smoothly. And guess what? This hole, not one single rock. Easiest hole I've ever dug. Nothing ever works out this easily or smoothly, especially with this house. So here's what I love about small towns. I went to the town hall once again. I was greeted with a smile, number one, which is amazing, and no line. Number two, the lady was incredibly helpful, super kind and patient with us. I don't know what I'm talking about, and she explained everything to me. Number three, I got an electrical permit, and the electrical inspector is gonna be here at 3 o'clock today. Let me say that again. I got an electrical permit today, and the inspector is gonna be here today to check out our work. Our first day at the getaway. We have the RV set up over here. Our actual camper can't fit yet. I have my dumpster filled, and we have the world-class wrecking crew right here. Going to town. I haven't had to keep these kids entertained all week because all they're doing has been destroying the inside of this house. What does that say? Enter if you dare? Yeah. Logan was here, tagging my house. Go ahead, break some stuff. Yeah, that's my baby girl.
Instead of axe throwing, we created a hammer throwing game. Yeah.
Let me see it. Oh, bullseye! He did it!
2 hours later.
I found the nest. Oh no. Oh no, look at that. That is... I didn't want to touch it. Let's turn the fan on and see what happens. This was absolutely disgusting. As soon as we turned the fans on, it blew mouse poo everywhere. All over our RV, where we sleep, our pillows, everywhere again. It was disgusting. Let's see what happens when I turn on this fan. Oh. Not so bad.
The next day.
So, my fifth wheel is here. My only question is those wires look really low. I hope he doesn't take out a wire. Now, before you all say it, Craig, why is someone else towing your camper up? Because the freaking fifth wheel attachments are on back order. He took one wire out already.
What are you trying to do? Hold it while he backs up?
No, he's not backing up. All right, I'm gonna stay up here. And I'll just push him with the broom if they get too close. This camper is really, really tall, and this entire neighborhood was built in the 1940s. So it was really difficult to try to pull this camper all the way down the road because of the cable and internet and phone lines. So I was afraid the air conditioning unit was going to take out a line, so I used the broom to push everything over as we drove under them. Cable wire now. Currently about 12 feet in the air, holding up power lines, cable lines with a broom. None of this is safe. I don't recommend anybody do it themselves, but this is the smartest way I could think of doing it without actually having to remove power lines. All right, so for the first time in forever, Elsa said, everything worked out. Everything worked out to plan. So here is our meter, installed one day. Code enforcer, electrical inspector, came out same day as we were burying the last posts. Then, as the code enforcer shows up, so does my fifth wheel camper. We did take down a power line, cable line. I hooked it back up on the roof. We called the cable company, they're gonna fix it. Now, I have my grill, I have my camper, I have my load leveling auto level jacks. Let's pull the grill over. Now we have to put the slide outs out. Jeez, I'm crow. All right, let's check out these slide outs. What's amazing is this was a $100,000 camper just a couple years ago. I bought it at auction, so I scored this thing, and it's like completely luxurious. So we're gonna love it until the house is ready for us to move into. You see how compact everything is right now? Let's extend everything. So here we are, living room extended. Flat screen fireplace, radio, vaulted ceilings. Now we have our full kitchen, extending table, stainless appliances, counters, stainless steel, everything. Then we have our full bath and our master bedroom with queen bed. This is our vacation home until home prices regulate or construction prices regulate. So for those of you that have been following my getaway fiasco, we are improvising, and here's our temporary living quarters. We got the fifth wheel camper up here this week. We got electricity, sewer, everything is ready to go. We have our grill, our entire family here for the 4th of July, and our tent with picnic table, freshly cut grass. Boat is running now. There's our burn pile. Everything is ship shape in time for 4th of July. I hope you guys all have a great holiday. And yes, we did meet our deadline of getting up there and moved in by the 4th of July, and this was just a short walk from our house. So if you remember, this was my original minivan of boats. I went through this whole thing and restored it. We actually ended up selling it and making a crazy amount of money off of it because the boat market was so hot. This was my boat headache, where this all started from. If you haven't seen this playlist yet, you should definitely go check it out. We did end up getting it running, and I ended up taking a break for the summer so we could just enjoy the boat, enjoy the lake, and we finally... The boat and our camper and the property fit all the kids, all the friends, all the family, so we all had a great time over the summer. But it didn't end there. This was last summer. You're just now caught up. As the summer came to an end, we did have a great time. It was the perfect time to list the camper because campers just were fetching a premium. We ended up selling this thing and making $10,000, which I can put towards the new house. So the fifth wheel has sold. Our summer home is gone. And I gotta tell you, we did okay on it. So what I made for profit is gonna go toward this new house. And now that summer's over, I can get back to work. So all fall, I spent just demoing this house. Back to work. I'm gonna make some progress at the getaway today. Here's the before. I wanted to completely gut it and get it down to the studs so I could see how good or bad it actually was. I found another rat's nest, and I think, are those droppings or dog food? I don't know. But here's the before today, just starting stripping out all the walls down to the studs. Here's what the rooms look like. That was my kids having some fun. I should have let them go to town on the whole house. And then this, I'm wondering if I should take that out and just make this whole thing the master bedroom, because the hallway's useless. And then that's the real worrisome area. It's a good thing I'm taking off all the drywall. The inside all has black mold. Now I want to go back in the archives and show you, just as a reminder, how bad this house actually was when we first started with it. 5 hours later, down to the studs. Got the drywall and all insulation down. Got them into piles. Now after all this work, all this money, all this time, I got some bad news from 3 different builders. Now, unfortunately, I have to tear this house down. I've had 3 contractors here, all of which said, the only thing I'm saving is 80-year-old wood. Get rid of it. Build a new house. So I'm gonna build it on the slab. Multiple reasons, which I'll get into later. That behind me is my new camper, thanks to one of you guys. I have a YouTuber that follows me that said, hey Craig, I noticed you were looking for a new camper. I have a 2021, would you be interested in it? Drove it down to me, made me an offer I couldn't refuse, brought it to me, and then he brought me a brand new camper. So now we have a brand new camper to replace the fifth wheel till the new house goes in. The only thing is, look at the leaves behind me. It's fall. It's leaf peeping season in New Hampshire. It's getting cold. We gotta build this house, make it weather tight before it gets too cold and the snow comes. So that's the next dilemma, the next step we have to get to. So sadly, after all that money, all that time, all that manual labor that I invested into this house, it's gonna get taken down anyway. But it was fun while it lasted. Make sure to stay tuned for our season finale when you get to see what the new house looks like. You guys are going to be up to date in our next video. Thank you so much for following. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed, and I'll see you later in the next video. Thank you.